Good morning, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here this morning. At this time, we're going to get started. Clerk Barger, if you will, please call the roll.
Master Combs? Here. Master Barger?
Here.
Master Tudor?
Here.
Master Botkin?
Present.
Judge Taylor?
Here. At this time, I'm going to invite Brother Joe Wood up from Vineyard Church to lead us in a word of prayer. Joe, appreciate you being here. It's great to see you.
Glad to. Well, my name is Joe Wood. I'm the senior pastor and the founding pastor of the Vineyard Church over at the Richmond Mall. We're a little church, about 600 people, trying to make a big impact in this county, and glad to be here. We'll be celebrating 10 years this coming summer, and excited for that as well. It's been good for us, and thank you for the honor of being here with you guys this morning. Let's go ahead and pray. Father, who is God in heaven, we come before you because we are mere human beings, and we bow our heads in awe of who you are and the wisdom that we need from you to make decisions and process things out on behalf of the people of this county. We just ask and pray, Father, that your wisdom would abide here in a great number, that in the council of many people, Lord, decisions get made that will benefit the people of this county. We just ask and pray that you hear us say thank you for the blessing of Thanksgiving, thank you for the blessing of the Christmas season, thank you for the blessing of leading the people in this community. We just ask this in Jesus' holy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Appreciate it. Tom, if you will, lead us in the pledge.
Stand, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
ABC.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. Before we get moved to the next on the agenda, the approval of minutes, there's going to be a lot of people, not necessarily here at the Fiscal Court meeting, but that is going to be watching on TV that is going to wonder why that I have on a Scott County pullover. And so one of the great things and the honors of being county judge executive is not only serving constituents here in Madison County, but it's also getting to know other elected officials across the state. So thankful for the relationships that you built a relationship with David Livingston, which is here today as a magistrate from Scott County that does a wonderful job not only for Scott County, but also for the state of Kentucky through CAECO and the lobbying efforts that we've all tried to do together for counties. So I was fortunate enough to get him to ask me and wager me in a Scott County Madison Central football game in the semifinals of the state championship that if Scott County wins, he would wear, or that I would wear a Scott County shirt. So obviously, since I'm wearing this shirt, Scott County won. I do want to wish them luck in the state championship this coming weekend against Mayo out of Louisville. It's great to have these relationships. It's great that we work across county lines and network together. But next time you'll be wearing a Madison Central shirt, I can guarantee you. So,
Yes, sir.
moving on, approval of the minutes. Guys, y'all had a chance to look over those. The first original ones that were on Dropbox, we did make a few corrections to those. Thanks to some of the staff, caught some of those. Landry made those changes and reposted those on Dropbox. And you also have a copy of those in front of you. So if you all approve those minutes, I need a motion and a second.
Move to approve the minute. Second.
So I have a motion and a second. No more discussion. Call the roll, please.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Master Botkin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Good morning, Glenna. Next is the treasurer's report.
Good morning. Your treasurer's report is in the Dropbox. As of 10/31 of 2018, our cash balance is $6,272,341.25. Our general fund revenues are at 25.7%. Our expenditures are at 25.9%. Our road fund revenues are at 55.2%. Our expenditures are at 27.9%. Our jail fund revenues are at 49.7%. Our expenditures are at 31.9%. Our LGA fund, our revenues are 74.4%. And our expenditures are at 16.6%. CSEP fund, our revenues are at 4.2%. Our expenditures are at 5.1%. Revenue for 911 is 25.3%. Our expenditures are at 29.3%. Our health fund, our revenues are at 22.9%. Our expenditures are at 21.4%. At this time of the year, expenditures should be around 33%. We're under all that on all of our funds. Is you may have any questions.
I'm good, guys. Do y'all have any questions for Glenn? Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate it. Next, guys, first order of business is resolution. Actually, no. Ellie, you want to go now, or do you want to go? Are you going to be here the whole time?
Whatever you want me to do.
Yep.
Now or later, doesn't matter.
Let's go ahead and do it. Yep. Guys, I'm gonna. Allie wanted to make an announcement about driver's license to be implemented for next year, and so she asked just to come and brief the court. So, good morning.
Good
Glad
morning.
you're here.
Thank you so much, Judge Taylor. As some of you know and may have heard on the radio, that Kentucky is getting a new driver's license beginning in 2019. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update about that and to take this opportunity to let everyone at home know that if you are planning on getting this voluntary travel ID as soon as it's available, you might want to go ahead and start getting all of your documents in order. You are going to need a birth certificate, a social security card, and two proofs of address whenever you come into the clerk's office to apply for your new voluntary travel ID. So if that's something that you don't have on hand that's up to date, you might want to go ahead and get that ordered and sent to you. The reason that Kentucky is doing the new voluntary travel ID is because of the Real ID Act that was passed in 2005. So starting on October the 1st, 2020, Kentucky's current and standard license will no longer be accepted to board flights or to enter federally restricted facilities. You will have to have this new standard ID or a voluntary travel ID. It's a combination of both. And I have some pictures of that, and I will send those to you guys for you all to have and see what they're going to look like beginning next year. This is going to be rolling out in Madison County sometime between January 1st and March 30th of 2019. I don't know the exact date. They were supposed to give us that date 2 weeks ago at conference, but they didn't have a specific date. So, do you guys have any questions about the new?
Allie, any information that you have, if you wanted to, you could get with Chris Israel. You know, we do have the cable channel.
Yes.
And so, you know, that feed runs periodically.
Yes.
And so we could put some kind of brochure or something up there that's just getting that information out if you'd like.
Absolutely, and also you can always visit drive.ky.gov for any more information. There's also going to be a link where you can go in and put your information. It's going to spit out exactly what you need to bring to get what you are wanting, so that kind of prepares each person individually for what they're going to need to bring to
Okay,
the clerk's
yeah.
office. Okay.
Alex, when you're flying, usually you need a passport, and then this Real ID, will this take the place of a passport, or you need them both? or
It's
what
not going
kind?
to take the place of the passport if you are flying, of course, out of the country. If you're flying domestically, this is the only thing that you're going to need. You can still fly with your current license until 2020, October 1st of 2020. And then even when you come in to get a new voluntary travel ID, you're going to be applying for it in the clerk's office, and then it's going to be mailed to you within 5 to 10 days. Within those 5 to 10 days, if you need to fly, you will be able to fly with the temporary printed credential that you will get from the office, along with your previous driver's license. We will invalidate that, and then you can use that to board flights.
Will a copy of the passport permit you to get the Real ID you need?
You'll
Still
need the
birth-
actual passport. You can do the passport in place of the birth certificate if you have one.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and if you have your social security card, make sure it's not laminated. If it's laminated, you'll need to get another one, because the scanning system that the vendor has will not scan in the social security card if it's laminated. So if anybody has a laminated social security card, you'll need to go ahead and get a new one.
And you know the cost of it now?
It's gonna be an option to have a 4-year or an 8-year renewal. They were trying to give everyone an option, whether you want to, go ahead and bite the bullet and do the 8-year. The cost of the 8-year is gonna be it's gonna be $48 for the voluntary travel ID. The reason is that the 48 is in hopes that the public will volunteer to donate that extra $2 to the Trust for Life, which is a very important mission.
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay, any
Thank
more
you.
questions?
Thank you.
Thank you guys
Thanks,
so
Allie.
much.
Appreciate it. Next on the agenda is resolution. Guys, I want y'all to make a note on your agenda. It's actually resolution 1825, not 1824. It'll be 1825. This is a CDBG program application with Kentucky River Foothills. Tina's here, Vicky's here. Do one of y'all want to come up and talk about it? I hope that's why you're here. Yeah.
Thank you, Judge Taylor, members of the court. We appreciate being here. I'm Vicki Josefowitz. I'm the Chief Administrative Officer for Kentucky River Foothills Development Council. This is Tina Kane. She is a consultant that works with us, and she's employed by FAHI in Berea. The project that we're hoping that you will support is through a community development block grant. I know that you're all familiar with the community development block grant system, but the only eligible applicants for community development block grant funds are units of local government. So for projects that nonprofits have, we have to have a government that will step up on our behalf, and then we'll do a pass-through of funds to the nonprofit. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Eastern Scholar House, which is a project that is operated by Kentucky River Foothills. It's on a land lease at Eastern Kentucky University, and it provides apartments and a child care center for single parents who are attending college. It's not limited to EKU students. They can be enrolled in any college. We are now submitting funding, or have already submitted to Kentucky Housing Corporation, a proposal for a similar project. The only difference is that it would prioritize veterans who are single parents and are pursuing college degrees. The second priority would go back to single parents, which means it could address the waiting list for Scholar House. There's not a child care center involved because we already have one. They could use that child care center. There is a different twist on this project though, and this is where the fiscal court comes into play. Although housing would be provided through this project, there would be another program associated with it, and it would be a workforce training program for people working in industry or manufacturing. Completely unrelated to the people who live there. It's just that this workforce development program would be within the facility. So it's cost, it's economical. We have a lot of the infrastructure already in place. There's a lower ground level. There would be classrooms, offices, and we would work with the local industries. We've worked with both the Richmond and the Berea industrial development groups. They've agreed to participate. EKU has agreed to do some training there, bring in HR directors and do training. Our industries have jobs, and we have people here who need jobs, and this would be a way of putting people into those jobs, hopefully. Tina can tell you just a little more about the funding structure of the project, and we do have some informational packets that we can pass out.
What I have is actually drawings of the project. In September, we did submit Kentucky River Foothills, for Kentucky River Foothills, a low-income housing tax credit project. And so with that, they will get most of the funding for the housing. And so what we're needing this for is, what we're asking for the community development block grant is for Madison County to be the lead applicant, with the city of Richmond being a joint applicant, because we're going in for non-traditional economic development funds. And for economic development funds, one source of government can get $250,000. If we go in jointly, the project can get $500,000. And this money will be used to help construct the workforce part of this project, the classrooms, some of the offices and that type. So that's what the CDBG funds we're requesting the court to help with, is for the workforce side of this project.
Tina, could you also talk just a little bit about the CDBG grant and how this is a little different CDBG than like what we have right now with God's Outreach?
Well, it's a non-traditional ED project. So this is going to go, we can do this because of the training component of the workforce. And so that is how the non-traditional, it's not a regular type economic development project. It's not bringing industry or jobs. It's the training component of this project that we are allowed to do the non-traditional ED.
And typically, you can only qualify for one CDBG, but since it's a different type, and right
Because-
now, we're.
Right,
with-
and there are no thresholds with the non-traditional economic CDBG, as long as you all don't have a project that's still open that was like a year 2015, then you would be eligible to go in for other CDBG projects. This does not require you to have this one 80% expended or closed before you can go in for other community development block grant projects.
What are some of the time schedule on this project being completed, Tina?
Right now, the low-income housing tax credit application was submitted in September. I'm not sure when Kentucky Housing Corporation will announce those projects that are funded. So once you get, and the tax credits that we applied for were 2019, and that project has to be completed by 2021. It's a 2-year program is all. So once that gets announced, we get all the funding together. They have 2 years to complete it. It will have to be completed in 2021.
So the educational phase of this is actually hinging on this grant?
Yes.
When's the deadline for the CDBG application? Did I miss that?
January 31st.
31st, okay.
Most of the other CDBG applications are actually closed, but this is one of the funding sources that they allow through January of the next year. So we've got till January of next year to apply.
Guys, I don't know if y'all had a chance to see Scholar House, but it's a wonderful program. I remember some of the housing vouchers, I believe, is what the program needed from the city of Richmond. And I remember early on going into a city commission meeting and advocating for it. If we ever need to help people in our communities, right now is the time to be helping people, especially ones that want to help themselves. Anytime that I think that we can give a hand up instead of a hand out, that, it's something that I want to be involved in from a county judge perspective. And I know that, I'm just one voting member on here. I'll do what you all would like to do. You all obviously have the right to make a motion. If you all feel comfortable with voting on this today, we can go ahead and approve Resolution 1825. If you would like to study it, learn a little bit more about it, maybe have questions, I think that we could push this to the December 18th meeting and revisit it. But it's up to you.
Judge, I think this is a great idea to help the community, especially the parents that are still trying to further their education, and it's not gonna cost the county anything, it's a pass through. So I make a motion that we accept or approve Resolution 1825 and apply for these grants.
Would you mind to add that you allow me to sign any documents needed?
I will add that to my motion.
Thank you.
I second it.
So I have a motion and a second. Do we have any more discussion at all?
I just want to say that anytime you got people that's willing to learn a trade or a job skill, and we can do it with a grant that's not costing us anything, we can't pass it up.
One of the comments was that they don't have anywhere for training. So
Right.
this gives them, and it won't be a cost to them, that using the facilities will be no cost to these industries to use the training room classrooms.
And one thing, if we don't start thinking about this, there's going to be a true shortage of just skilled labor. Electricians, HVAC, plumbing, framing, concrete, and there already is. Obviously, coming from that industry, there's a lot less individuals, and so this gives opportunities for you know, the electric companies and things to come in and maybe even train some vocational skills, so.
So will the educational, classes provided vary from time to time? I mean, if you see you need a need for something else, you'll be able to bring that on board.
Yes, they're going to primarily be aimed at soft skills and getting along, coming to work on time, having a plan for, the biggest barrier that we were told is people not having a transportation backup. My car broke down, I can't come to work. It's not really a good excuse for not going to your job. Childcare, anybody who's had a child knows you need to have plan A, B, C, D, and E for what you're going to do. We were looking at first aid, CPR, drug education. We're not going to do drug testing through this program, but that's our biggest barrier is to employment. People have some drug tests.
Yeah.
So, we thought we could do education on, you may not think a lot about what you're thinking is recreational, might keep you from a job. So we've got there's a list in there of all the different partners that have agreed to sign on. We had a focus meeting and brought together representatives from the state and from local industry, and it was just amazing how many people showed up and said, we'll help, count us in for this, and learned about, there's a lot of programs out there through the state that will support people that are trying to go to work. They pay 3 months pay for the person in an internship, so an employer can try out somebody really at no cost to them. And even better than that, this program carries that person on their workers' comp. So the employer doesn't even have to do that. So it definitely for a long-term human service professional that thought I had a good knowledge of resources that was out there, I've learned a lot through this process.
Good.
So the question that I want to ask is about I see the companies that have agreed to join in and partner with you. How did you manage to get this group? Because I can think of some key employers who are not on this list.
Because we invited a lot of them, and that was the ones who could come to the meeting. Some of them were not able to come.
So you have an
We will
opportunity
have,
later
yes,
to reach out and
yes,
touch those folks as well?
They will.
Yeah, good.
We wanted to have that first meeting. We didn't want to design a training program and then have people who worked in that industry say, well, that doesn't fit with what our needs are.
Sure.
So that was why we brought
Good.
them together.
Good.
No more discussion? I'll have a motion in a second. Let's call the roll, Clerk Barton.
Master Barger,
Yes.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Master Botkin.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all very much. Appreciate the
Thank you. And
invitation to be a
If you
part.
haven't seen Scholar House, please, you can just show up at Scholar House. You'll always be welcomed, because it is quite something, and to see both the parents and the children who are
Would you
benefiting.
give us the address for that?
801 Van Hoos Drive.
Okay.
You know where the parking structure is? The new parking garage?
That's our neighbor.
It's the neighbor to it, yeah. Kinda as you're going back there to the intramural fields. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Vicky.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tina. Good to see y'all. Next on the agenda is appointment of 2 planning and zoning, commission members. First is a reappointment, which is, recommending Douglas Fritz to be reappointed. He was, finishing out somebody else's term that resigned, so we just appointed him probably a year ago. So he finished that term out, so now his appointment will expire on December the 30th, 2022. So if you confirm reappointment of Doug Fritz to Planning Commission, I need a motion and a second, please.
Make the motion to reappoint Doug Fritz to the Planning Commission.
Second.
And that'll go through December, as you stated,
December 30th, 2022, yep. Thank you, guys. So I have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please. No
Master
discussion.
Tudor,
Yes.
Master Botkin.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Barger.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Next is an appointment. This will be a new appointment. Mr. Roy Schweitzer to the Madison County Planning Commission. Roy will be fulfilling a partial term, which will expire December 30th, 2019. And this will be to replace Chris Hager. So if you approve the appointment of Roy Schweitzer, I need a motion and a second.
So move.
Second.
I do want to thank Chris Hager for his time on Planning Commission. I appreciate his leadership. and looking forward to now Roy's leadership. No more discussion. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Buckley?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Tudor?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Thanks, guys. Next is appointment to the airport board. This is a reappointment for Myron Fisher. And note that this, the appointments to the airport board actually have to get also approved by the City of Richmond Mayor, City Commission, and City Council Berea. So we'll approve Myron as our appointment, and then we'll send it on to them as well. So this will be Myron Fisher for a 4-year term, and it will expire January 1, 2023.
Make a motion to reappoint Myron Fisher, Airport Board.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
No more discussion. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Tudor?
Yes.
Mr. Buckley?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next on the agenda is personnel. This is EMAC set. Okay. Sorry. We're not having EMAC set today, it doesn't look like. All right, next on the agenda is firefighter. It's a new hire. Chief, good morning, buddy.
Chief.
Morning, how are you all? What I'd like to recommend to the court this morning is the hire of Greg Cox for lieutenant. We interviewed Greg along with 5 or 6 others about a month ago, Rachel, with Debbie Berry, Scott Shepherd, and Donnie Whitecamp. Rachel been on the interview board. Greg has been a Berea City fireman for 8 years. He's 400-hour certified, IFSAC 1 and 2, and also a Kentucky State IFSAC fire instructor. He would start on January 11th, 2019 at $10 an hour if the court approves this.
Do I have a motion and a second to approve the hire of Greg Cox as a lieutenant in the fire department?
So move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Judge, anytime we can get somebody that's already got some training or some experience and bring them on board, it just helps with some of the training that we have to do. And it sounds like Greg is already well-trained and ready to step in and do his part with the fire department. I look forward to having him.
He's not here with us today because he had to work at Berea on shift today, the reason he's not here.
All right. No more discussion, then call the roll, please.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Tudor?
Yes.
Mr. Buckley?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next is a firefighter promotion.
We got James Parsons with us today. He's completed his 400-hour certification. He'll be moving from a firefighter level 1 to a firefighter level 2 effective 11/28/2018. He'll be moving from $7.25 an hour to $7.50.
I'll make a motion, Judge, that we promote James Parsons to firefighter 2 at $7.50 an hour, effective on 11/28.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second?
I'll make a comment on that now.
Absolutely.
Did we just recently hire Mr. Parsons?
We hired Whitney July the 30th, I think he started with us.
Yeah.
Him and Matthew Frost.
So, you know, I just want to commend you once again, because it just shows that the dedication that these folks, especially our new hires coming in, are willing to do what it takes to promote themselves within our own system, and that's what we've been working for the last 4 years.
Yep.
And so glad to see that taking effect.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Tom, for those comments. Anybody else? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Tudor?
Yes.
Mr. Buckley?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Thanks, Chief. Appreciate you. Next is county clerk. Here we go, having to give the county clerk money again. I mean, is it ever gonna stop?
There's a story behind this, too.
I mean, all right, go ahead. The floor is all yours, Clerk Barker.
Usually we do
Go
this in January, February. Revenue Cabinet sends this invoice out, and for this $13,466.30, this is all I do to earn that money. is bring this piece of paper to court and ask for it. We don't assess these vehicles, we don't print the bills, we don't mail the bills. So Revenue Cabinet decided, since clerks aren't doing anything for this, that they weren't gonna do it. They weren't gonna send it out, but it's by statute. So I imagine that this will be the last time that I bring this to court. Because like I say, we don't, in the past, we did do the record keeping for this, but now it's all handled Revenue Cabinet.
I've heard that before.
So there's no, I think this will get.
So
this will
we
get
have
done away
started
with.
sending that check to the revenue cabinet?
No,
No.
we won't send it anywhere.
Okay.
That's part of, that, so it's just the layers, statutes and regs that don't line up.
Right.
This is one of them. There's no
This
reason.
needs to be made part of the minute?
Well, this has to be a part of a court order,
Mm-hmm.
that the 13,000, there's 89,775 vehicles in Madison County, and it's 15 cents per vehicle and this is for mailing the notice, the card that you get. And like I say, Revenue Cabinet does all that. We don't have any part of that.
Now, is that every county, or is that because we're a fee county?
Every county.
Every county,
Yeah,
okay.
so that's what happened. It was fine with me that we didn't bring this. That makes total sense. But in smaller counties where the budget's much tighter for the clerk's office and they don't have the relationship that we have, they push back, and here we sit.
So what you're saying is I don't have to write you a check?
No, you do have to
Oh,
write,
okay.
to write the check
Okay,
based on KRS 133.240 section 3.
okay.
Yeah, it's a law. Whether or not it makes any sense, it's still a law.
So do we actually need to approve this today?
Yeah, this is approved, and it's actually a court order. It'll be recorded in the order book.
Should it be in a resolution, or is it just fine to approve the payment of the county clerk's claims for calculation of motor
Well,
vehicles?
we've got to approve it.
for
We've got to
2018.
record it in the order book, so we're gonna book and page it, so it'll actually be an order of court.
Okay.
not a
So this will be the last time you bring that?
I suspect it will be. I think the powers that
That's
be-
not a guarantee.
No, but I think they'll get ahead of it next time, and instead of just saying, no, we're not gonna send them out, they'll actually get statute changed this session.
Yeah.
So in the past, how was that paid? You all paid it with your money or no?
No,
No.
I usually brought this to court in February or so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to pay. That's what I'm saying. We're getting, we're receiving $13,000 for not doing anything.
But
Revenue Cabinet does
but
it
you've
all.
written that check to him last year.
Yeah,
Okay. Then it's in the budget.
that's not my budget. I don't know.
So,
We'll look back to where we paid it from. I just want to make sure we paid it before. We paid it every year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
if you,
Yeah, I remember doing this every year.
Yeah.
Cause I always make a big deal out of it here. We gotta give him money again.
yeah.
if you don't have any expenses for this, will we see it back somewhere, Kenny? And
Oh, you'll see this and then some. The
Right.
next court
Sounds
meeting,
good.
I'll bring you the number of what you see in back.
okay.
Yeah. How much do you give us every quarter?
It's a few $100,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's not smack a gift horse in the mouth, okay? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll trade with you.
Hey,
can
thank
have
you,
your
Clerk
first
Barger. We'll get you a check this afternoon for $13,000.
I think
Thank
we've
you.
talked about this long enough.
Yeah. So guys, if y'all approve the motor vehicle and boat bills for 2018 from our county clerk, I need a motion in a second. And to pay, we'll make it, and to pay.
So move.
Second.
No discussion, call the roll, please.
Master Buckin,
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Barger.
Yes.
Master Tudor.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Thanks, Kenny, appreciate it.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
guys. Next on the agenda is the judge's report. Just got a few announcements of upcoming events, events during the holiday season. Do want to announce that this coming Saturday, December 1st, is the Berea's Christmas Parade. It'll be Saturday night starting at 6 p.m. The parade will go up Broadway and Chestnut Street in Berea. Come early for a good spot. It is a great event. It's always, Berea's got a wonderful, beautiful downtown during the Christmas season. Next, the lighting of the Madison County Christmas tree will be Friday, December the 7th, and that starts here at 6:30 at the courthouse. Again, that's December the 7th, Friday, December the 7th at 6:30 here at the courthouse, and then the parade, Richmond's parade will start at 7, and it'll be coming down Lancaster Avenue and down Main Street. Breakfast with Santa will be Saturday, December 1st at the Richmond Area Arts Council. That'll be on Water Street beginning at 9 a.m. For more information, call 624-4242. Madison County Community Band's Holiday Brass Concert will be Tuesday, December 4th at 6:45 p.m. at the EKU Center for Performing Arts. The holiday sing-along with Madison Singers, Madison Youth Choir, and Madison Children's Choir will be Sunday, December the 2nd at 3 p.m. at the Richmond Area Arts Council. And then Madison County Band holiday concert will be Sunday, December 15th at the First Baptist Church on the EKU bypass. I will always encourage during these holiday seasons for us just to think of others just for a bit. These next two announcements is just doing that. The Kentucky State Police's annual Cram the Cruiser food drive will run through Monday, December the 10th. Please bring non-perishable food items to the KSP Cruiser at the Richmond Kroger's to help alleviate hunger this holiday season. So there'll be a cruiser there, and you'll just go by and put that in there. Also, the Richmond Police Department's annual Feed the Families food drive is going on through the end of 2018. Just bring non-perishable food items to the Richmond Police Department cruiser at Richmond's Walmart to help the less fortunate as well. That's all I have. Any comments from department heads? Sure, Gary. Good morning, buddy.
Morning. I just have two quick things. At the last meeting was brought up about the winterization of the bathrooms at the parks. That's all been taken care of. And porta potty has been put out at Whitehall. That leads me into my next item. The head women's triathlon coach at Transylvania University came to me about a month ago asking if we could hold an NCAA triathlon at Whitehall Park. I have to admit, at first I was kind of skeptical. I couldn't see who would want to swim over there. But I did some research into it. I was able to reach out to some people in Ohio who I know through my son, who's the global director of running apparel for Adidas. Turns out I met these people before. They're triathlon people. They own like 4 stores out in Ohio. I just wanted some information ahead of time to see if it would be feasible to hold it out there. So I contacted them, and then I met with Transylvania's coach, Kevin Ryan, out at Whitehall Park, and talked to him about it, the feasibility of it. And it seems like it would be a great showcase for the county. And right now we're moving ahead in the planning stages. It would be held September 14th and 15th out there. Part of it through NCAA rules, they're responsible to check the water quality out there. That was the biggest thing I had thought of. They have to check it a month before the meet, 7 days before the meet, and the day of. If any of those turn up bad, then it's canceled. But they handle all the insurance. They bring in extra porta potties. They do quite a bit of work for it. Well, they do all of the work for it. And as I said, right now, I'll be keeping in contact with him, getting more and more information. But right now, it seems like we'll be holding it out there. It would be at least 10 other NCAA schools with approximately 100 people. So as I get
100
more,
people in the race.
yes.
Does it
Yeah.
bring spectators?
Yes,
You know?
it does.
Do you know approximately how many? You don't?
No.
Okay.
But as I said, I'm going to keep in contact with them, going over all of the details to make sure it's good. They have all the insurance for it. They can add extra insurance. And as part of it, I'll have them sign an agreement with us for it. So right
Yeah.
now, it's a
exciting.
go. Yeah. Mhm.
That's
And I
awesome.
will not be partaking in it, just
You
in
won't.
case you ask.
Would there be an entry fee, and would we be able to get any funding for that?
Well, right now, we don't charge anyone anything for use of our parks. That will be part of the discussion with them, though. And I'm in the process to putting together a proposal for us to start charging a small fee for use of all of our parks.
Yeah, I think this is a great idea. My son has been involved in triathlons before, and Judge is asking about where any participant or any spectators come to view that, there will be 4 or 5 from each family basically come
Yeah.
to watch their son or daughter or whatever participate in these. Where do you plan on the bicycle?
The bicycle part will be on the road going into the park. Part of it will probably have to have that road closed from the gas station into the park.
That will be 15 or 21 mile bike. What's distance
See,
on-
for the bike, they're doing a 5K. The run will be 1,500 and the swimming will be 500 meters.
Okay. So the lake will have to be roped off then?
Yes, they provide buoys for it. They even provide like a mat where the swimmers will take off in case there are any fishing hooks or anything in the grass. They take care of the cleanup. They'll have lifeguards stationed around the pond.
Yeah, that's good.
This sounds like a good idea. It's something I'd like to see
Mm.
start up and have an annual event of it, even though it wasn't maybe promoted by colleges, university, have some group that come in and sponsor this once a year and have a triathlon out there.
Yes,
It'd bring a lot of viewing to Whitehall Park.
Mhm.
It is a pretty place.
and according to the coach, he called it a perfect venue for it.
That's good.
Well, and that's, you know, the other thing is that we've talked about this before, it's another opportunity for restaurants, hotels.
Mhm.
It's good for local business.
Promote the county.
It's good.
All right, and I'll keep you all informed as we get more information on it.
But that date is set for September the 14th and
And
the 15th.
yes.
It's good.
Do you need anything else from us, Gary, on that?
No, not right now.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else, department heads? Comments from Ashers? Larry?
No comment.
No comment. All right, moving on. Tom?
Just a couple, you know, of course, elections are over now and we're all past all that. Just want to remind everybody that if you still have signs out, please pick your signs up. I've been, you know, just snatching them up myself if I see one here and there that's over in the 4th district when I'm making a round, but, you know, I know where most of my signs went out at. If you know where your signs are at and they're still there, please get your signs. Also, I want to commend the State Highway Department. Brandon and the guys out there, they've been doing a pretty good job here in the last month or so, and especially over in the 4th district for cutting back the trees and clearing the right-of-ways off on the roads. And, you know, with snow season coming on and things like that, they are dealing with the same problem that we're dealing with. You know, they get drivers over there, they train them, boom. Soon as they get their CDLs, they're gone. They leave for $1 or $2 more an hour to go to Allen Company or somewhere else. We're all fighting that. Same thing with our own road department. And so I commend them for doing that and keeping up and trying to catch up with. They've been, you know, we had a pretty wet summer all year long. Our fall was the same way, and they're catching up like everybody else. But at least on our side of it, for those things that I've been addressing with them, they're trying to get caught up on that, and I certainly appreciate that, Judge. And that's all I've got. If you need me, you can reach me at 200-9765.
Thanks, Tom. John?
First off, I want to congratulate our Madison Central High School football team. They came up a little short the other night against Scott County, but they had a really great year, and they're to be congratulated and proud of what year that they did have.
Mm-hmm.
And just want to thank all the coaches and all the staff over there. Winter's coming on, and of course we're going to have some bad weather. And just want to ask everybody to be patient with their road crews. They're going to be out there as soon as they can when we see a winter event. There will be some ice and slick spots, so just slow down and drive cautiously and be patient with until we get our roads cleaned off. One other thing I want to announce here, that Phil Seifert out at the Battle of Richmond is, you may have saw him on TV last night, he's hosting the sock drive again to take up donations for socks for needed people for this cold winter weather. So Tom and I brought a bundle of socks in. And so you can drop them off out at the Battle of Richmond. or I'm sure you can drop them off here at the courthouse, and we'll get them to Philip out there at the Battle of Richmond Visitor Center.
Yeah, I think he, sometimes maybe he puts a bin or something out in the front lobby of the courthouse there for people to drop them off in, so.
That's all I got, Judge.
Thanks, John. Appreciate that. Raj?
Nah, I'm not gonna rub it in any more about it. Say more about that.
Yeah, I wonder if anyone, think anybody needs a good blanket or anything for the winter, stay warm, I give this to them.
Tates Creek Bridge is coming along. I got a report. I'd been out of town and hadn't checked on it, but I got a report that the concrete's been poured on the bridge. The fabricated sections, that's what we call the walls or the sides, I think, have been hauled down there. And I haven't been down there to check on it, but I'll probably be down there this afternoon. But it's coming along, and surprisingly, they thought it'd probably be the first of the year before it'd be finished, but I think it'll be done before that. Hopefully, get that back open. It's been a headache for a lot of them on Tates Creek to have to drive 5-6 miles back to town to turn around and go back the other way, on a different road. So I appreciate what they do. The contractor, he's really been on the ball with it since they got started. I got a couple of complaints about different subdivisions with all-street parking signs telling people to not park on the street, and it's happening all over the county. This really causes a problem in the winter when we need to plow the roads, because you got to plow around them. And I know when we plow a lot of times in the middle of the day, then people are going to work. So you need to do something about your cars that night. Get them off the road if they're not the ones you drive to work. You need to get them off the streets to where we can get through there a little better. And then some places it's just irritating to the neighbor next door when you've got 2 cars parked in front of his door that should be in your driveway. So that I've got 2 different subdivisions. I won't mention them, but that they're really having a problem with.
It's real bad for our road department guys, especially in the cul-de-sacs, and it's dangerous because a lot of our cul-de-sacs, will be on an incline downhill, and so they can't keep continuing around that circle because you got a car parked in it. So it does create a hazard, and obviously a little unsafe for our drivers.
We don't want to get in the business of having towing cars off. I mean, that's not what we're here to do, but try to give them a warning ahead of time enough to see if they can get it done on their own.
We have an ordinance on the books that prohibits parking on any county
Well, a
road.
lot of your subdivision associations requires that you park in your driveway. There's some subdivisions out there that don't have that, But by our county taking care of those roads in those subdivisions, we have the right to ask them to do that. So
Very good. Thanks, Ross. Appreciate it. Comments from the audience? Magistrate Livingston, I'm sure that you have something to say. Yeah.
You notice his colors?
I do. My name's David Livingston. I'm a magistrate from Scott County. And what I wanted to say was I appreciate the judge partaking in the friendly competition for Madison Central and Scott County on Friday night. And congratulate Madison Central. It's a fantastic year when you can come and finish in the semifinals. And I appreciate the good luck from the court for Saturday night when we play Mayo. But I also wanted to, while I'm up here, is to thank Madison County, the judge, and the fiscal court, because as Scott County, we're growing so fast, and you all are larger than us. And there are so many times that I'll pick up the phone and call the judge and say, hey, how are you all doing this? How are you experiencing it? What can we do that you might do that could fit us as we grow? And that's one of the best things about the relationships that we have as county officials across the state, is that we can reach out to each other, see each other at conferences or whatever, and say, how are you doing it in your county? Because we don't have all the answers in Scott County, and so I'm always looking out to others and saying, how do you do this? Because if it's a new idea for us and it's been done before, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. We might be able to take what you all are doing and mold it to where it applies to Scott County individually. So I want to thank you all for always helping us when we reach out for help. And you look good in those colors, and I really like the other option was like a little cardinal on the chest area here, but I decided that the big one was,
Yeah.
and if I got a 3X, then the letters were even bigger.
I had an
So-
option. I had an option to turn it inside out too, but I did.
You're
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
right. I
yeah.
appreciate you following through.
Appreciate you being here.
I'd just like to comment on something he said about, when we go to these conferences, the guy standing up there trying to teach you something, you don't learn that much from him, it's from the guy sitting next to you at the table.
Yeah.
That's from another county, and you learn more from them than you do from the guy that's doing the speaking.
Yeah.
That's any conference I've been to that way.
Yeah, one of the first things when I won 4 years ago, Roger told me is you'll learn more from those guys at the conference that you're walking the halls with and outside of those classrooms than you will, and he's correct. I mean, you know, there's a perfect example here today. So thanks for your leadership, David. Appreciate it. Anybody else? I need a motion and a second to pay the claims and approve the transfers.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. No discussion. Call the roll, please.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Master Bucket?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. I want everybody to take note of this because this is a little different for next month on our next meeting than what it normally is. So Bill, if you will, please write this down. We'll only be having one fiscal court meeting in December due to the holidays, and we've moved it up a week to December the 18th. So that'll actually be the third Tuesday instead of our normal second and fourth. So in the past, we have been doing this where we just have one fiscal court meeting in December. So please make note of that, December the 18th, 2018, and it'll be here in Richmond at the Madison County Courthouse. I need a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Call the roll, please.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor? Yes. Master Bucket?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes.